folks. Time for your Friday Fail Story. Yeah, so all these people, they thought they had the perfect plan.
Oh, no.
But, man, somewhere along the line, that perfect plan went completely sideways.
You don't say.
And it became an Uber.
Don't you dare.
An Ultra. Oh, I'm going to say it.
Don't you do it.
Mega. Here we go.
Failed.
All right. After that.
That was beautiful. Excellent job, Bob.
And your Friday Fail Stories is sponsored by...
They're Mortzroyce. Mortzroyce Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Rizzuto Show.
Boy, I just got word that we have a pretty big prize to give away.
Yes, we do.
Too big. So if you're a Fall Out Boy fan, okay, we have these concert concierge tickets to give away, worth like $500.
Huge.
So you and 3 of your friends will go to Fall Out Boy in style. $100 food and beverage credit for your group. Concierge will greet you at your personalized Rockstar parking space with your own Rock Out welcome bag.
Okay.
Concierge escorts group to red carpet entry.
Whoa.
Cart ride to VIP club to enjoy your own reserved area.
Cart ride?
Cart ride?
Yeah.
Did I say cart right or cart
Did I say
ride?
cart ride?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's awesome, though.
Either way sounds good.
Server for both VIP club and I mean, this is a huge prize.
Now you can see what it's like to be Riz when he goes to a concert.
That's right. This is how I'm treated at every show. So if you're a Fall Out Boy fan and after Friday Fail Stories, think about this. I think we're going to do Pressure Luck.
Okay.
And this is the game, and I hate doing this without Moon, but this was sprung on us literally just 5 minutes
Moments ago. So this is too big of a prize for
just a regular game.
Porn star weatherman.
The plan was
too big.
Porn Star Weatherman, but we'll do, for these tickets. So just think about this. If you're a huge Fall Out Boy fan, this is the way to go to that show. But here's the deal. Rafe will ask you a common knowledge question. You have 7 seconds to answer it. If you get the question right, you and 3 of your friends are going to the show.
Awesome.
In style, concierge package style. If you get the question wrong, you're going to have to give your phone number out on the air. We have one of these to give away.
That's wild.
So think about that during the Friday Fail Stories, and after the break, we'll do the Pressure Luck thing. But Friday Fail Stories, we'll start with a couple local ones. This is one of those rare criminal stories with not 1 or 2, but 3 twists to it. So a 42-year-old guy named Gerald Hopkins walked into a Schnucks in Maplewood last Saturday. He threatened the manager with a staple gun, stole 1 small bag of dog food, then fled the scene on a bike. Now, here's how it went down. The manager saw him walking out with the dog food and stopped him at the door. Gerald refused to give it back and claimed he had a gun. It was really just a staple gun wrapped in electrical tape. But he pulled it out, threatened to shoot the manager, and it looked real enough, so they let him go. Then they watched him ride off on his bike. Cops caught up with him nearby. They found the staple gun and dog food in his backpack, and he's facing serious charges and very serious jail time.
Sure.
Wow. Twist number 4, one report I saw said 10 to 30 years for a Class A felony, maybe even life.
Failed.
Dang.
Well, something tells me this guy, that's not his first run-in with the law.
By the way, you can go to any pet organization here in St. Louis, sometimes even pet stores, and they have ways to get your dog food if you don't have money to do
Gerald is stupid.
Yeah. There's a thing called rodents too outside, and you just catch them for
that. That
free.
is absolutely true.
Another local one, an 18-year-old pinned his foot underneath a forklift when he took it for a joyride in Shrewsbury early on Tuesday morning. Police said the guy spotted the forklift, which had a key in it, in the parking lot of the Planet Fitness on Watson. The forklift was being used for renovations at the gym. The forks were extended all the way up, and while the man was operating it, it tipped over, pinned his foot. Firefighters had to use special equipment to remove the forklift. Police say they're asking the St. Louis County prosecutor to consider charges against the guy for tampering and for damaging the forklift. That didn't go as planned.
Failed.
Worth it.
Now, when it comes to smuggling things into jail, there really aren't many techniques that the authorities haven't seen lately. But this sounds like a fresh approach. Actually, fresh is the wrong word. Somebody tried to smuggle meth into a jail in Kansas by sewing it into his underwear.
Hey, that's pretty clever.
This not-so-hygienic plan was actually hatched from the inside. There was an inmate who only served time on the weekends. And so they came up with a plan to have him come back in with the meth sewn into his underwear. The drugs were discovered when he was searched. Apparently, the authorities heard rumors about a smuggling attempt. So it's unclear if this is why he was caught or if it was something they would have found either way. 2 people have been arrested for it so far, but there have been many more co-conspirators. The guy wearing the underwear was one of the ones who was arrested. I don't know if he wears boxers or briefs, but it's failed plan.
Man.
A bomb squad was called last Wednesday after the Vallejo Naval and Historical Museum in California received a live grenade as a donation.
Very sweet.
Whoa.
This is the second grenade story in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the museum executive director said the grenade was from a well-meaning donor. Museum staff said the grenade outside, they set it outside away from visitors. Alerted authorities evacuated the building. Police closed off the street, called in the bomb squad from nearby Travis Air Force Base. Nobody was hurt, and the museum was reopened to the public the next day, but
failed.
Now you learn something new every day, like this. The U.S. Coast Guard apparently has its own fleet of tricycles.
Go on.
I know this
is
because
awesome.
some crazy lady in Florida stole one last Wednesday. So she hopped the fence at the St. Pete Clearwater International Airport. The Coast Guard has a base there for their planes and helicopters. It's their biggest and busiest air station in the country.
Okay.
So after scaling the fence, she hopped on a Coast Guard tricycle. Now I was picturing one of those tiny red ones for kids.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's adult size.
Dang it.
So the Coast Guard says they have to move. They have them to move tools and equipment around the airport. They also use golf carts and bobcats, but they also have tricycles too. So she rode it across an active taxiway, abandoned it, and then tried to get on an Allegiant Air flight.
Those are very expensive, so I see.
I'm
why.
just in my mind. Wasn't there like a huge tricycle in Jackass or something? It was a shopping cart, but the song that's playing like that war
Down,
song.
down,
Dun,
down,
dun,
down.
dun, 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 dun. That's what I imagine this woman.
She also tried to get into a Coast Guard plane at one point. Security eventually saw her on surveillance. She's facing felony charges for grand theft and trespassing onto an operational area of an airport.
Failed.
There are many ways to make a love connection, but armed robbery probably isn't one of them.
Well,
A guy in Indiana, Damian Boyce, robbed a woman outside her home last month. He pointed a gun at her, and she handed over $100 in cash. And then, with the gun still pointed at her, he asked her if she had a boyfriend and if she'd add him on Facebook.
Oh no.
He even showed her his profile and forced her to add him at gunpoint,
my God.
right there.
We will be friends.
He said he'd pay her back and then ran off. They even exchanged Facebook messages later.
that's
With Damien still trying to score a date and promising to pay her back. And at one point, he said, "It's a messed up way to meet, but you was too pretty to rob." Okay. The woman said that she has a man, but wished him well. Damien was dangerous, though. Last week, he was arrested and charged with a separate robbery where he allegedly shot 2 people and hit somebody else in the head with a brick. I don't know if he was romantically interested in any of them, but court records show that Damien was charged with armed robbery in the Facebook case on Wednesday.
wow.
Not the way to do it, folks.
Failed.
If you're too embarrassed to purchase naughty items from a Target, so you just steal them. Just know that it's worse to have cops catch you with them outside.
Excuse me. What? Target has naughty items?
Yes, they do.
What aisle is that in?
I don't know. But a 46-year-old guy from Florida, David Romero, was caught shoplifting items from a Target on Monday. He bought some groceries, but did not pay for other items, including a pink vibrator, condoms, personal lubricant, and several sexual enhancement products.
Way to go, Target.
So David was caught on surveillance footage, and the cops were called. They cornered him in the parking lot and arrested him. And I watched this video as they tried to get him into the police car. The pink vibrator fell out of his pants.
Oh, no.
And in the cop's chest cam video, you could see it on the ground vibrating.
flailing
good.
about.
Yeah, this is a Reno 911 skit, I think.
David is facing 1 count of petty theft, 1 count of grand theft, and 4 counts of larceny, being held on a bond of $3,000.
Hey, bonus
Fail.
points for this guy for buying a vibrator, probably for his lady.
Yeah, and Target
Or
carries
him.
that.
And Target carry. I'm very impressed.
A North Florida man led cops on a 15 miles an hour chase before eating an entire bag of cocaine. I'll explain.
You're supposed. You're not
boy.
sat. Get back to.
That's
you.
good for the heart,
Not how you're
right?
supposed to do it.
Cops tried to stop a silver Infinity traveling near Jacksonville, but the driver didn't pull over immediately, driving for a while at 15 miles an hour before finally coming to a stop. A deputy says once he got to the side of the car, he saw a torn baggie with several small white flakes consistent with cocaine scattered across his shorts and on his face and beard.
And that man was detailing his car at record speed and also writing a script.
After threatening the driver with a taser, the guy got out of the car, was taken into custody, where he spit out a white substance that later tested positive for cocaine. Before being charged, he was sent to the hospital for ingesting a large amount of narcotics. Like, that'll kill you.
Failed.
And
Speaking of cocaine, if you're at a Sonic drive-in and you want a hot dog and a Coke, you're probably expecting Coca-Cola, not cocaine. An unnamed female customer went to a Sonic drive-thru in New Mexico last Tuesday, ordered a Coney dog. When she bit into it, she found a plastic bag filled with some kind of powder. Turns out it was a baggie of cocaine. Fortunately, she, unlike our previous Friday Fail story, did not ingest any of the cocaine. She called the cops. They arrested a 54-year-old guy who worked at the Sonic. He, quote, inadvertently placed a baggie in her order as he was preparing it. Whoopsie.
Ah,
In the surveillance footage, he gets stressed and looks like he'd lost something. He reportedly admitted to buying the cocaine earlier in the parking lot. The guy was charged with felony possession.
Failed.
And finally, in your Friday Fail stories, if I got this text from a friend, I'd think it's a joke, especially on a Monday, but this idiot wasn't joking. A guy named Isaiah Jones used to work at a gas station in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I say used to because he's definitely been fired for this. Back on June 5th, which was a Monday, he texted a friend and asked her to rob the place so he could go home early.
this is a very good friend right there.
He didn't actually ask her to do it herself. He told her to find somebody
Oh,
to
he's
rob the place.
smart.
So she did. She recruited another friend named Stephen Jones who showed up with a note that said, "Give me all your money or I will shoot you." He left with a bunch of cash. Cops tracked him down, arrested him 3 days later. Then he ratted the other two out. They arrested the woman the next day and found the text messages on her phone. Then they arrested Isaiah last week, all three facing charges.
Failed.
We'll outsmart him.
Again, worth it.
The tangled web we weave. And those are your Friday Fail stories. Thank you.
Thank you.